This is Fred Beck from Fred Beck Fighting. I'm in Manchester today, joined by Ashley Rak-Sui. It's good to see you again in Manchester as well.
Yeah, man, love it up here. How you doing? You right?
It's good. It's funny. I texted you yesterday or the day before, saying, "Do you want to do an interview at some point?" And you're saying, "Oh, I'm in Manchester tomorrow or today actually. We can do it. We can do it now."
Yeah, I think I always prefer doing them face to face rather than like on Zoom when my Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy and it ends up being grainy. So yeah, here we are.
Face to face is a lot easier. It's more fun. Then again, when you got to like pay for travel back down, back up, you only want to do like a certain times at events and make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
But Zoom's still good, obviously. Like when you're doing it from America or you're doing it from another country, then it's a lot more beneficial. But face to face is a lot easier, especially when you do all the edits or on Twitter.
Exactly.
It's more high quality. You know, because you post a lot of edits on your Instagram.
Yeah, man. I've got a guy called Scott Penders who helps me. So he like puts it. I love the format of it because I think it's funny because I can talk a whole load of waffle and then actually there can be the related content beneath it. So yeah, it's good. By the way, how strong is this? Like we're not going to fall back.
No. It would be good. It would make a good video if it did fall back.
It would make a good video because I don't think we'd be waking back up. So
the pool table down there. No, this is strong. This is strong.
Okay, all right. I'm scared still, but we move.
I've seen a lot on your Instagram and your YouTube about helping the homeless.
Yes.
What's been going on there with you?
I just think prior to the boxing, obviously I was fortunate enough to be in a group that won the X Factor and to have some eyes on me. But I just feel that sometimes when I go on social media, and I think we all feel it to a degree, sometimes it's nothing but drama or negativity or bad news or do you know what I mean? So there was a part of me that was like wanted to give a little bit of balance and maybe start making some content that when people open their phones, there's also some brighter stuff.
Happiness.
Yeah, man. So whether that's me just saying things that are uplifting or positive or actually just shedding a light on people who are doing good things. So with the Feeding the Homeless UK organisation, that's a group of people that give up their time and their money on a weekly basis to meet in London, walk the streets with hot meals and give them out to people that are homeless. And equally as importantly, they spend time with, talk to and acknowledge some people who ordinarily are just ignored and walked past. So yeah, and it's been really cool because since I posted those videos, I've had some people reach out and be like, I want to get involved in this. Who do I need to talk to? And for me, that's the point. So there's some other charities and some other things I'm going to be like vlogging in the future as well. But yeah, that's the aim, just to put some positive stuff in the atmosphere, show people doing good things and hopefully inspire some other people to do the same.
I guess when people see on social media that you're doing it, it'll probably inspire them to do it or think about it more or occur in their brain a lot more. Because you're right in saying social media is all negativity. To be fair, negativity sells a lot better than positive news as well, though.
Yeah, 100%. And even I have that conundrum myself at times where I'm like, if I do a stupid video calling out a fighter, like that might go viral on TikTok. And I know that if I have a conversation with someone about something that's meaningful, it's probably not going to. So it almost feels like sometimes I have to make a choice between, do I want the stuff that's going to be reactive and have numbers or have something that's going to make a positive impact? And I guess ultimately the answer is both. But yeah, I'd like to think that the more we see people doing positive things, we might be like, oh yeah, I can have that mentality, or oh yeah, I can help too.
Yeah, I guess it is. It sounds really cringy or cliche, but it is kind of the thing where obviously you're spreading positivity, and it kind of fluctuates between lots of different people, and it begins to rise up. But another thing you're involved in is the Misfits Boxing.
Yeah, baby.
How does it feel to get the first win? I guess you're kind of on top of the moon almost.
Bro, it's felt so good. I started to get rinsed on my TikTok for posting so many clips
Oh,
of
really?
it. Yeah, because I did like a reaction video and broke it down into like loads of segments and put it up. But no, I've been really happy, man. It was such a big relief. I'm quite a competitive person, and when I lost to Anthony Taylor, I didn't give any excuses. I didn't say anything. Like I feel like I was like, cool, I'm just going to take this L. But inside it was burning me.
Oh, really?
I just believe that you should always be kind of like gracious in defeat. And I'm like, do you know what? It's about him winning. It's not about me losing. But inside, bro, I was burning. So when I got the call about the opportunity to fight Kenny, I was like, yes, amazing. This is a chance to redeem myself. This is a chance to be able to look myself in the mirror afterwards and know that I've done myself justice, because I feel like in the Anthony Taylor fight, I let myself down in a couple of ways. So yeah, more than anything, I was relieved. Like, just, yeah, man, I was so relieved and so happy. I was like, I was kind of proud of myself again when before I was a little disappointed.
Mm-hmm. I saw the reaction with you and your coach.
Yeah.
That was a crazy reaction. But it's kind of because he kept so composed. I remember they're reading out the judges' scorecards, and you're talking to Kenny about a rematch or how do you think it went, that sort of thing. And then instantly, that switch there of when they read your name out and you went crazy.
Yeah, because I kind of knew I'd won. Do you know what I mean? Even I think if you see my reactions in between the rounds, I'm pretty confident. I know, obviously we're in there, right? So I know how much I'm hitting him and I know how much I'm not getting hit. So I was quite confident going all the way through. But then I think the second judge gave it to Kenny, so then that scared me a bit. And then ultimately I got the win. And then in that moment, it was just such a relief. And even for my coach as well, like, he taught me how to throw a jab. Do you know what I mean? He's a friend of mine before the boxing thing. So we've been on this journey together. And it's a lot of time that you spend together as well. There's a lot of times where I'm messaging him, watching my sparring videos at 4 a.m. in the morning, being like, what do you think of this? Should I try this? Da, da, da. And I know he's probably sick of me at times too. So for us to get the desired result being a win was just a massive moment for both of us, man. Like, yeah, it meant a lot.
It also helps him a lot as well, and kind of his brand. And I guess if you're a coach coming onto the scene, well, I think we'll use Daily Prowler's. He always gets his name right. Daily Prowler's, Deji and Kenny's coach.
Yeah.
Deji and Kenny both lost back in March, the Showstar event.
Yeah.
And then they both fought on the same card together in August and both won.
Yeah.
So it gave him a massive boost and his kind of PR and publicity a massive boost as well.
Yeah, for sure. And my coach is called Luke Groves. Shout out to Luke Groves, the boxing coach LG. And he does like loads of work with like white collar fighters in like our local area of Watford. But as a result of this and the journey that we've been on, obviously had AJ Bunker, who also fought on that show as well. He's got a guy called Corey Sampson, who is probably going to be coming into the space. Potentially a guy called Big Tobes, who might come into the space. And Miles, who's also in the group Rak-Sui, might come into the space. So, as you said, it's been nice that whilst I'm growing and opportunities are opening themselves up for me, it's also growing for him too. And my favourite part about it is I said I wanted to have a white collar. In fact, no. We were around Miles' house watching an Anthony Joshua fight.
Which one?
Oh, I can't remember.
For the story, you need to know which fight. Remember. What year was it? I can probably guess.
It was 2021. It might have been Ruiz too.
Ruiz too, yeah. It was in December time.
Yes,
Christmas time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Ruiz too.
Yeah, I think it was Ruiz too. And I was like, look, do you know what? If I start now, can I make the Olympics? Literally. So I'm a little bit delusional at times. And I was like, look, you know,
You've got to have that mindset though, haven't you?
I'm in my late 20s, but I was like, look, I've not tried boxing properly. What if I just have this like otherworldly gift and I'm just the most amazing boxer and I never knew about it? So he was like, okay, cool, I'll try. And he was saying that he spoke to his missus and was like, look, Ash wants to start boxing. I'll give him 2 weeks and he'll quit. I found out I'm not an amazing boxer, but I carried on going anyway. And he taught me for a good few months up until my white collar fight. And he never charged me a penny, never asked me for any money. So that's the other thing that's been really nice, that he started teaching me out of the goodness of his heart for free. And now we're in a situation where we're getting paid for it. And it's like, it's cool when someone does something for a passion and just because they like someone and then they end up getting money unexpectedly. So yeah, it's a cool story.
Certainly.
Cheers, Luke.
Yeah, we'll put Luke's Instagram link in the description. I think I saw him in the hotel and it was obviously really nice. He wears a cap, doesn't he, a lot?
He does. He wears a cap and he's always in black. He's quite, on fight week, he's quite highly strung. I think it's made worse because we're friends as well. Like, I'm sure every boxing coach cares for their fighters, but I think it's different when it's your mate.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Thankfully, I got knocked down against Anthony Taylor so quickly he didn't see it. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have been really stressed out. Yeah, it was so quick he was still making his way up to the ring. So he kind of just got up there and saw the soles of my feet in the air. It was like, what happened? But yeah.
But I think I interviewed you on the weigh-in day. It was before the weigh-in happened, and you were saying about how you wanted to fight Saul Papi.
Yeah, man.
And I think just called him out again.
Yes.
And it's because you were saying it's not because of egos, and it's not because I want to have my name out there more. It's just because you like to fight the best, and you don't want to like an easy fight, as we saw with Andy Taylor and King Kenny. You just want to test yourself and get your name out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think also in boxing there's banana skins, right? Where I think sometimes, like, we're not the pros. When we're the pros and somebody's had 30 fights, it's quite easy to navigate a fighter on their route to the top. And I get it. You would give somebody like 10, 15 easy fights, build their career, this, that, and the other. But in the world of like misfits and crossover boxing, you never know what somebody's got, and you don't know how good anybody is. Like, you actually do not know. The only people that you can say, okay, you know how good they are the ones who have had probably like 3 or 4 fights and they've all gone the distance. And then you can start to understand what they're like and where they're really
the fundamentals.
At. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you just don't know. Like, you don't know how good someone is. Like, my fight against Anthony Taylor was so hard. No one had a clue what I was actually like as a fighter. Even when you look at KSI, fought Swarms, Pineda, knocked out FaZe Temper that quickly. None of us have got a clue how good is he. Do you know what I mean? So anyone can be a banana skin. So with that in mind, my mentality is, well, I take the easy fights. I might as well take the harder ones. Do you know what I mean? And just go for it. So yeah, it's always like, anything I say is always out of a place of like love and respect, to be honest with you. Like, I love Salt Papi. Like, just as a person, I think he's hella cool. You were there when we were all chilling, didn't it?
Well, we were doing an interview here. Yeah. In about where the staircase is, the house there. That's where Salt Papi was talking to his coach.
Exactly, precisely. So it's not a disrespectful thing. I'm never going to say anything which is too untowards or anything like that. It's nothing but love. But I would just love that fight. He's a person that everyone says is amazing. So I'm like, I bet, let's run it.
Do you think that fight could be next? Maybe the May card? He's rumoured for it.
You
can't say too much. No comment is the word.
I think I have a little bit more earning to do to get that shot. Is the honest truth. I think whilst I would love it, and I would, let's be honest, Salt Papi on May the 13th in London is probably one of the biggest slots. Like, outside of fighting one of the Paul brothers and fighting KSI.
Well, he's on a KSI undercard as well.
Do you know what I mean? It's like one of the biggest slots. So I am not naive to the fact that I've probably got a little bit more building to do until I get that. So I probably need to have like at least one other fight, make that really entertaining, whether it's knock somebody out or have a real scrap, get more people talking about me, and then maybe that's the chance I'll get.
Who?
Bro, do you know what? Honestly, any southpaw is realistically what I'm
because it gets you in... Okay, that's smart, actually, yeah.
That's what I would love.
FaZe Temper's one off the top of my head.
Yep, so obviously I've been calling him out. FaZe Sensei kind of switches a little bit, so at least that would kind of make some sense as well. There's DK Money out there, but then...
That'd be good, actually,
yeah. But obviously there's a question of if he got knocked out by King Kenny and I beat King Kenny, is it a good fight? Yeah. But I think DK's making an appearance either on 6, 7 or 8, DK should be back. So hopefully he's back. Hopefully he wins in a really good fashion. And then it's like, that could make sense too. So yeah, in an ideal world, I'm just kind of looking at who are the southpaws in the scene or the switch hitters in the scene. So I can kind of build en route to Salt Papi.
So we're looking at kind of a June, July time. So I believe the June one is the Nashville one, and July is Berlin. Yeah. So foreign cards, that'll be quite exciting.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, honestly, I have obviously fighting in Sheffield and fighting in Telford.
They quite like small places compared to these other ones.
Well, this is what I was going to say, though. The arenas are...
They're packed, though.
They're packed, and the crowds are so amazing. Like, it's not like a traditional boxing show where people normally turn up and get raucous for, like, the headline event. The Misfits cards, it's like the first fight of the night, 7:15. Everyone's in. It's packed. It's busy. So I honestly, it's going to sound a bit stupid, but I almost don't mind. Like, Telford was lit. Do you know what I mean? The only difference is probably the nights out afterwards. London or, I don't know, Berlin have probably got more to offer nightlife-wise than, say, Telford.
Or the Ibiza one coming up.
Or the Ibiza one, do you know what I mean? But as far as actually the arena itself, the production's all going to be the same. Everything else around it is going to be the same. And I'm not really... I don't need a lot, I'll be real with you. I'm not really a man of luxury. So even like the hotels, this, that and the other, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, if I can eat my food, I can get a good night's sleep, bro, I'm happy to be here. Let's run it.
The Ibiza bill or card will be quite funny because even if you're not fighting on it, everyone will still be going. So the interviews that week, I'm gonna be like really, really excited or really, really feeling out of it.
Yeah, 100%.
It'll be two moods. It won't be a middle ground.
Sunglasses. They're gonna be like, Fred, go away, man. I don't want to talk to you. You're not getting more.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be bad, won't it?
You're not gonna get more than 3 words out of a lot of people. But yeah, that could be funny. But do you know what though? In the same sense, I guess for me, if I was to fight in June, then I'm expecting that I'd be then looking to fight again in the autumn. So actually, if I was out in Ibiza, I'd probably be in camp. Yeah, so I'd probably be in camp at that point in time. if not fighting on the card. So yeah, you'll get an interview out of me. You'll be all right.
It'll be funny because they'll have all the press conferences, weigh-ins, media workouts at like 8 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
So they'll give everyone a chance to recover.
Yeah. I hope so. It'll be funny anyway.
Or if anyone turns up. Because they want to be so, yeah. It'll be quite entertaining, certainly.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like 2 more times this year, you reckon?
Yeah, man, that's the plan. I mean, obviously, it depends on what I get offered. Like, if I could have fought in May and then fought in July and then fought... Bro, I'm ready. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy working out anyway, like, even without the boxing thing. Like, I play for a basketball team. I played semi-pro football up until the point where I couldn't anymore because of music. So even if it wasn't for the boxing, I'd still be active. My body would be active. So, yeah, as much as possible, like... Thankfully, obviously, I came out the Kenny fight without any cuts or scars or anything. So as soon as Mam says, Ash, it's time to go, then I'm ready to go.
And just one last point on the boxing, before we talk about a couple of other things. The Kingpin tournament.
Yes.
Kenny's in it.
Yes.
There's a few other fighters in it.
Go on, Kenny. Go win the Kingpin tournament. I really hope King Kenny wins the Kingpin tournament. It'll be amazing. Want to see him do it. Obviously, he's from Watford.
And it'll also make you look really good as well.
Do you know what? Like, slightly. But I feel like I'd beat anyone in the Kingpin tournament anyway. That's just how I feel. Obviously, as fighters, we're supposed to feel that way. And I'm sure if you asked all of them, they would probably say the same thing. And some of us will never fight because Jarvis is like 160 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think I'd love for him to go and win it because also he come out of it at top confidence. And then he definitely want the rematch. And that would be really, really cool. For him to go in there, win that tournament, and then we run it back on the other side. Now, that would be sick. So, yeah. And as I said, it would be dope if KSI ends up beating Jake Paul. That's Watford winning that. Kenny goes and win the Kingpin tournament. That's Watford winning that. And then I'll beat somebody else up on Misfits, and that's Watford winning again. So, yeah, we'll keep it at home.
The round is 5. I didn't know this actually until Wade told me.
And
it's
Deji
5.
as well. Deji wins his next fight. That's another Watford W. And Watford begins with a W. So, yeah, man, W City.
Do you think Troy Deeney will come out and watch you on your fights ringside?
I don't know. I mean, Troy, he's actually from Birmingham, innit? So he's a Watford hero, but I think Birmingham's his home.
You never know. Who's the main guy up from Watford, would you say? It's going to be KSI?
It's probably KSI.
Yeah, anyone else?
Anthony Joshua.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but yeah, the most famous people from Watford, probably KSI and Anthony Joshua. They're probably flying. Elton John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably Elton John then, actually.
Probably Elton John.
Just because the old generation will know Elton John more than KSI.
But then Anthony Joshua, who's more famous, Anthony Joshua or Elton John?
Katie, who's more famous, Anthony Joshua or Elton John? Elton John then.
It's Elton John.
But the Kingpin tournament, we'll run through the first kind of fights on the card.
Yes.
I'm just checking the camera battery. Gibb and McBroom, that's the rematch. There's a lot of kind of heat going up in that.
Yeah, Gibb McBroom, the rematch. Gibb said he's out here to collect chins. Yeah, man, I think Gibb's going to win it. Like, I get it. I know Austin was saying that he was ill before the last fight, had to take the IV, this, that, and the other. But stylistically, watching that fight, there's a couple of things that Austin does really well. But I don't think it's sustainable for the course of a fight. Austin likes to control the distance quite a lot using like his southpaw long arm. And obviously it does create a lot of distance between the two fighters. But your arm will get tired. Like, honestly, I think it's as simple as that. Watching that fight for the first round, he controlled that distance by just using that lead arm as a rangefinder and keeping Gibb away. I don't think you can do that. For what they fighting for, 5 rounds?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Gibb's going to get you. Like, and it just becomes a game of, as Gibb's coming in, if you're Austin, can you knock Gibb out? Or can you hit him so hard that you're going to deter him from coming forward?
Get your respect.
Yeah, but in the first fight, he knocked Gibb down and Gibb still didn't stop coming forward. So you're not going to get his respect. Gibb's already shown us that. The only way you're going to stop Gibb from coming forward is you have to knock him out or you got to get him with a body shot that takes the wind out of him. Otherwise, Gibb is going to come. Pause. And so, I feel like Gibb's going to win again. Yeah, I can't see Austin winning it. Sorry, brother. But yeah, I got Gibb for that.
And then obviously, the 2 more fights on the card. King Kenny, his fight, he's got a tough fight. My mate Nate. I like his name. Quite catchy.
I know. My mate Nate against my mate Kenny. I think it's the toughest matchup because I think the winner is going to be either Gibb, Nate, or Kenny. So I think it's quite unfortunate for those two. They've got each other in the first round. They both have fairly similar styles in that my mate Nate is a bit of like a boxing purist, very lead arm heavy, gets creative with his jab, turning his jab into hooks. He kind of fights in the way that Kenny would like to fight as well. My mate Nate's actually going to be the taller person too. He's going to have a longer reach. So if Kenny does just try and make it a battle of the jabs, that might make it more difficult. So I think he's going to have to get involved a little bit more. But he is going to be a faster and more powerful fighter. So it'll be really interesting. For me, it's going to be a really tight one to call. Like, I think Kenny has the physical attributes to win that fight, but he's going to have to be more aggressive than he has been previously.
But then I guess what you were saying earlier was quite interesting, that my mate Nate, he's got so much footage to watch of Kenny. And
Well,
Kenny's gone
there's also a
distance.
lot of my
Is
mate
there?
Nate. Yeah,
Really?
I've personally, I was contemplating the tournament, so I went and did
really?
like a
You
lot of
loved it?
research. And watching my mate Nate, there's a few good fights of him out there, and he actually fights a bit like an English amateur.
He looks like an English school teacher,
And
doesn't he?
fights like an English amateur boxer. So yeah, they're both going to have a lot of footage to go off each other, and I think my mate Nate is slightly the better boxer. Like, he does some very cute, creative things with his
Technically
lead hand.
better.
Yeah. But at 6'2", at 170, he's going to be nothing but bones. So physically, Kenny's going to be far superior, and Kenny's just faster and more powerful anyway. So yeah, he's just going to have to be aggressive.
And Kenny coming off a loss as well, without a fire, and Daly be pumping him up.
Yeah, I think so, because look, I think the fight with me and Kenny, interestingly, to most people, looks like it came down to Kenny just being gun shy and me just winging in wild punches. The reality of the situation for me is actually it was a fight that was won and lost upstairs. It wasn't about physical attributes or technical attributes. It was a game plan thing that actually won and lost that fight. So as a result of that, I don't think Kenny will have his confidence completely broken, because he won't be thinking, I lost to Ashley because I'm not fit enough or I'm not good enough. I think he will know he lost to me because mentally they made some mistakes on their part, and I sussed out what they were trying to do and just didn't let them do what they were trying to do. Like, I knew what their game plan was, and I was like, well, I'm just not going to let you do that. And they didn't have the answers for it. And I realized some stuff that I could do, and they didn't know how to stop me from doing that. So I think they should have some confidence in that there's a much better boxer inside Kenny than we saw last time out. And if they can get that out of him, there's no reason why he can't go and win that tournament.
It's going to be good. Very exciting. One last fight in the tournament.
Yeah.
Obviously, Winnerson Nunes. Quite unfortunate for him because they haven't found him an opponent yet.
There's another one.
It's Winnerson Nunes, and then it's Jarvis and Tom Zanetti.
Yes.
That's going to be, I think that's like the most, those firefight, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because Tom Zanetti goes for it,
100%.
Jarvis want to prove a statement.
Yeah, for sure, man. As soon as I saw that, I was like, Jarvis, I hope you're training your chin. Obviously, you can't train your chin, but Tom is not the cutest of fighters. He's just hard. Like, he's just a man who doesn't
that's
mind
true
a
as well,
scrap.
yeah.
He's not going down. Slim caught him with so many shots, and Tom just kept on coming forwards. And you could see that Tom was gassed out. It looked like he had an adrenaline dump, but he didn't fold. He didn't quit. A lot of people in Tom Zanetti's position, when you're in your first fight, you've had an adrenaline dump, you're losing, you're getting hit, you see him starting to turn away, you see him cowering, you see him looking for a way out. Tom Zanetti did not look for a way out at any point in that fight. He was just going forwards. So Jarvis is in for a real tough battle, because you know that Tom's going to bring the same energy. On the flip side, Jarvis had his first fight years ago.
It's Michael Lee, 2018.
Yep.
He did win by knockout in like 14 or 16 ounce gloves, so.
Yep, and he's been making consistent boxing content ever since. So you know that he's been in the gym. So actually, this is clearly something that he's wanted to do and has dedicated time to for a long time. So I'm expecting Tom to be the bigger man, the stronger man, and the man with more heart. But I'm expecting Jarvis to be more skilled, refined, and technical.
On talks of discipline, I would go with Jarvis. Just to Tom Zetter's lifestyle of being a DJ, being around the party lifestyle. I guess, as well.
I think if Jarvis has clearly been living within the sphere of boxing for a while, definitely longer than Tom, and Tom's got more things to juggle for sure. So it will be interesting.
Certainly. I mean, Winners and Nunes, they haven't found an opponent yet, so we're still waiting on that one. Before I let you go, music-wise,
yes,
what do you got coming up for yourself there?
So for Rak-Sui, we are literally finalising our plans at the moment. So hopefully over summer we're going to be consistent. We're going to have like a 5-6 track project and just release like every couple of months. So it'll be good, and hopefully I think we're contemplating maybe doing a tour back end of this year or early next year. So yeah, in the ideal world, consistent music, consistent fighting, and consistent positive content. That is ideally what my life is going to look like over the next 12 months.
Could you not do your next walkout entrance music with their music, and then we'll kind of sing you out and stuff?
Do you know what, right? The only thing is, have you heard Rak-Sui's music?
I like it.
Yeah.
I was on TikTok today looking at all your stuff.
Yeah, it's very happy. So
To be fair, Slim's music is happy as well.
Slim's music is happy, but I think when I'm going to fight,
You want to like Eminem war music.
I feel like my default setting in life is happy. Like anytime you see, like 9 times out of 10 when you see me, I'm gonna be smiling, I'm gonna be upbeat, I'm gonna be happy. Even in the ring, if you see me in the ring, I'm having a laugh and a joke. I'm still smiling when I'm in there. So I'm like, if there's ever one time in my life that I need to actually be aggressive and serious, it's like just before the fight, I need to kind of kick myself into gear. So that's why I've been kind of like, I haven't gone down the Rak-Sui music route. But for the last fight, the song I came out to, my little brother's actually in a band with 2 of his best friends. And they're called Froze Mode, and they came to the fight and they didn't know, but they didn't know I was going to, but I walked out to one of their songs called Maybelline. So that was like a super emotional moment.
They could have sung you out or done the music out though.
I might get them to do that because their music is a little bit more amped up. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of like the fact that it meant a little bit more, because also everyone booed me when I came out, right?
I didn't see you walk out.
When I came
Why
out,
did they boo you? You're more of a fan favourite.
Kenny was the fan favourite. Do you know what I mean? So literally, I got to the top of the ramp and it was Ashley Rak-Sui, boo, like 4,000 boos, man. It was intense.
Small arena as well, so it's more echoey.
Yeah, I've never felt anything like it. I'm used to coming out on stage and people cheering. But it was really cool because even in my head as I'm walking down the ramp, I'm acutely aware I'm doing this for my little brother and his friends, and this is meant to be a really dope moment for them, and the song's playing and everyone's booing. And I was like, crap, the only way we're going to hear it again with cheers is I have to win. So they play it again after I've won. So yeah, I think I might either it'll be Rak-Sui stuff if we make something with the right energy, or I might stick with like my little brother's group because I know how much it will mean to them as well. But yeah, it'll probably just be stuff that means something to me because it will mean I'm kind of fighting for a bigger reason. And
did they play his music after you won?
They did. Yeah, they did. Which was amazing because then I'm like there and I can see them all and we're like singing the words at each other. So yeah, it was a dope moment, man. So yeah, big up to Froze Mode. Guys, go and check them out. FROZEMODE, Froze Mode.
How old is your brother?
My brother's 23.
23, okay. How old are you?
23, otherwise that's awkward. I'm 31.
31, okay.
Yeah.
That's old.
Bro, I'm so old. It's like no one should be scared to fight me. I've literally got grey hairs in my beard and I still can't throw punches properly. So I feel like, FaZe Temper, FaZe Sensei, DK Money, Salt Papi. Salt Papi said he will fight me anyway. I know I need to earn that fight. But for everyone else, don't be scared of me. I'm not even good and I'm old.
Please, guys, come on. Help me out here.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Someone give me a fight, man.
Apart from music and fighting, anything else for yourself? Before we see you soon?
Nah, man, to be honest with you, it's just the making the positive content is super important to me, and just trying to figure out how to do that in the best way as well. Like, I think I might just start like a different channel for it. And for like the Ashley Rak-Sui socials, just keep it to talking about boxing, football, just sport, to be honest with you, and just me being stupid. And then maybe make another one which is going to have all the positive stuff. But yeah, between making music, fighting, and try and do some positive stuff, that is life, and I enjoy it, man.
Sounds pretty good, Ashley. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers for having me, brother.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again, man.